You've probably been told at some point that as you get older, you should eat less fat, less salt, less food in general. But what if there's one thing you actually need more of, not less, to stay strong, mobile, and independent? And what if most people over 60 are unknowingly not getting enough of it? That thing is protein. You may not think of protein as something vital after retirement. Maybe you associate it with bodybuilders or athletes. But the truth is, your body needs protein now more than ever. Not for building big muscles, but for maintaining the strength you already have. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia, and it can start as early as your 50s. By the time we reach our 70s or 80s, we can lose up to 30 to 50% of our muscle if we don't do anything about it. That's a lot, and without enough muscle, simple things like getting out of a chair, walking upstairs, or catching yourself if you slip become harder and riskier. But here's the encouraging part. We can fight back, gently and naturally, with protein. Protein doesn't just feed your muscles. It helps heal wounds, strengthens your immune system, supports your bones, and gives your body the tools it needs to recover from stress and injury. And yet, many seniors aren't getting nearly enough. Why? Because appetite often decreases with age. Because soft, carb-heavy foods are easier to chew. And because somewhere along the way, we started to believe the myth that older adults shouldn't eat too much protein. But science says otherwise, and we're going to break that down together in today's video. In the next few minutes, we'll explore why protein is so important after 60, how much you actually need, and how to make it easy and enjoyable to include in your daily meals. We'll also look at the surprising ways that protein protects your balance, prevents falls, and keeps you independent longer. So if you've been feeling a little weaker or recovering more slowly than before, don't worry, you're not broken. Your body just might be missing something powerful and simple. Enough protein. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. Aging and muscle loss. The hidden threat of sarcopenia. As we age, it's easy to think that slowing down, feeling weaker, or having trouble doing things we once did with ease is simply part of getting older. But what many people don't realize is that these changes aren't just about age. They're often the result of a silent process happening inside the body called sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. This condition affects nearly every adult after the age of 60, yet most people don't even know it's happening until it's already taken a toll. Sarcopenia doesn't strike suddenly like a fall or an injury. It happens slowly, quietly, as the muscles we once used daily begin to shrink, weaken, and lose their strength. Tasks like lifting groceries, standing up from a chair, or even keeping your balance during a walk can become more difficult. And because this loss is gradual, many people blame it on just getting old, never realizing that with the right habits, especially enough protein, it can be slowed, stopped, or even reversed. Let me tell you about Mr. Henry, a 78-year-old who had always been active in his garden and around the house. Over the years, he started noticing that climbing stairs left him winded. Bending down made his legs shake. He even had a minor fall in his kitchen, not because he tripped, but because his legs simply gave out. At first he thought, well, I'm just getting older. But his doctor explained that what he was really dealing with was sarcopenia, a gradual loss of muscle mass that was making his body less stable and more fragile. With a combination of daily walks, light resistance exercises, and a significant increase in protein, including eggs, Greek yogurt, and protein-rich snacks throughout the day, Mr. Henry began to rebuild some of that lost strength. Within a few months, he could walk longer distances without getting tired and had regained his confidence. He even started helping in his garden again, one flower pot at a time. The reality is that after the age of 60, your body needs more protein to maintain the same amount of muscle that you had in your younger years. That's because your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat, a condition known as anabolic resistance. It's like your muscles don't hear the message from the food as well as they used to, so they need a louder message, meaning more protein and more consistent intake throughout the day. Without it, the body starts breaking down muscle faster than it can build it, and that leads to weakness, frailty, and a greater risk of falls, fractures, and even hospitalization. The most concerning part, sarcopenia isn't just about mobility. It also affects your metabolism, your blood sugar control, your energy levels, and your ability to recover from illness or surgery. That's why preventing muscle loss should be a top priority for anyone over 60, and why protein is one of the most powerful and underrated tools we have in that fight. You don't need to eat like a bodybuilder. You just need to eat enough of the right kinds of protein consistently to tell your body, I still need my strength. So if you've noticed your legs feeling more tired, your arms less steady, or your balance not quite the same, it may not be age alone. It could be your muscles asking for more support and more nourishment. In the next section, we'll explore how protein helps repair your body from the inside out. Not just building muscle, but healing tissue, supporting immunity, and making sure your body has what it needs to stay strong. Let's continue with number 2. Protein builds and repairs. Why your body needs it more now. Number 2. Protein builds and repairs. Why your body needs it more now. As we get older, the body doesn't stop working. It just works harder to stay balanced, stable, and well. Every day, even if we don't feel it, our bodies are constantly repairing themselves. Tiny tears in muscles from simple movements, micro damage to cells, tissue that needs to heal from stress, from walking, from standing too long, or even from the natural wear and tear of time. And here's the quiet truth. Your body can't repair or rebuild anything without protein. That means the strength in your legs, the flexibility in your joints, your energy levels, your wound healing, all of it depends on having enough high-quality protein available when your body needs it. And as we age, the need for that repair work only increases. When you were younger, your body was more efficient at using the protein you ate. You could have a steak, a few eggs, or some yogurt, and your muscles would respond quickly, rebuilding and maintaining themselves with ease. But after 60, the body doesn't respond as strongly. The same meal that once gave you lasting energy and strength now gives you only a fraction of that benefit. This is due to something called anabolic resistance, which simply means your muscles have become less sensitive to the protein you eat. It's not your fault. It's a natural part of aging. But it does mean that you need more protein, more often, to keep your body functioning at its best. Protein doesn't just build muscle. It is the material your body uses to repair skin, create enzymes, support immune cells, build hormones, and even transport oxygen. When you're recovering from a surgery, when you've had a fall, or even when fighting off a cold, your body ramps up its protein needs dramatically. And yet, most older adults aren't eating enough to meet those demands. That's why it often takes longer to heal after an injury as we age. That's why bruises stay longer, wounds close slower, and illnesses leave you more tired than they used to. Without enough protein in the system, your body is left patching holes without enough thread. Let's talk about Ms. Elaine, a 76-year-old retired librarian who had a minor hip surgery. Her doctor said she was healthy, the surgery went well, but her recovery was taking longer than expected. She felt weak, had trouble getting out of bed, and wasn't regaining her strength. A nutritionist reviewed her meals and discovered she was only eating small portions of toast and tea for breakfast, a bowl of soup for lunch, and something light like fruit and crackers for dinner. Hardly any protein. They worked together to add a high-protein Greek yogurt in the morning, a boiled egg with lunch, and a soft chicken salad in the evening. They even added a gentle protein shake during rehab. The result? Within 2 weeks, her energy picked up. By the 3rd week, she was walking more confidently, her wound was healing better, and her therapist said she had regained some of her lost leg strength. All because she finally gave her body the building blocks it was missing. You don't need to eat a huge steak to get enough protein. In fact, many senior-friendly sources of protein are soft, easy to prepare, and digestible. Scrambled eggs, cottage cheese, tuna, lentils, milk, tofu, or a small protein smoothie. The goal isn't to overload, it's to consistently provide your body with what it needs to rebuild. Think of protein like bricks. Your body is the builder, but if you don't supply the bricks, nothing gets fixed. So the next time you skip a meal or reach for just toast and jam, ask yourself, is this giving my body the materials it needs to stay strong? Every bite is a message to your body, and the right bite says, I care about my strength, my healing, and my future. In the next part of this video, we'll explore one of the biggest hidden benefits of eating enough protein, how it helps protect you from dangerous falls and injuries. Let's continue with number 3, preventing falls. Strong muscles mean better balance. Number 3, preventing falls. Strong muscles mean better balance. Falls are one of the most common and serious threats to health as we get older. In fact, for adults over 65, a simple fall can change everything. From a broken hip that requires surgery, to a long hospital stay, to a loss of confidence that leads to less movement, more fear, and even depression. It's easy to think that falls are just accidents, but more often than not, they are signals. Signals from a body that has lost some of its strength, its balance, and its muscle. And the key to reversing that risk? Protein. Because when your muscles are strong, your balance improves, your posture improves, and your body is better equipped to catch itself before it hits the ground. Let's talk about what really happens in the body. As muscle mass decreases with age, the body loses not just strength, but stability. The legs become less responsive, the core weakens, the reaction time slows. If you trip, your body may no longer have the coordination or power to catch itself. This is why many falls in older adults don't happen because of a slippery floor or a loose rug. They happen because the muscles weren't strong enough to respond quickly. Protein helps prevent this by maintaining and rebuilding the muscles that keep you upright. The glutes, the thighs, the calves, the core. When these muscles are strong, you walk with more confidence, recover more quickly from missteps, and stay more active, which in turn strengthens the muscles even more. Take Mr. Walter, for example. He's 81 years old and lives alone. A few years ago, he slipped while reaching for a cup in the kitchen. He didn't fall hard, but the experience shook him. After that, he became nervous when walking, even inside his own home. He stopped going outside for walks, and gradually his muscles weakened from lack of use. That's when his daughter stepped in. Together with his doctor and a dietitian, they created a plan. Increase protein at every meal, add simple resistance exercises using resistance bands, and slowly rebuild strength and confidence. After 3 months, Mr. Walter was standing taller, walking farther, and best of all, smiling more. He later said, "I thought I was just old and fragile. I didn't know I could feel strong again." Falls can be prevented, not just with grab bars or safer floors, but by building a stronger foundation from within. Protein is a vital part of that foundation. It fuels the recovery of muscles after movement. It supports the nervous system, which controls balance. It helps maintain a healthy weight, which reduces strain on the joints. It even plays a role in keeping your vision and alertness sharp, both of which are essential for navigating your environment safely. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who consume more protein daily are significantly less likely to fall or suffer serious injury from a fall, especially when combined with even light exercise. And you don't need to do anything extreme. Just adding a boiled egg to breakfast, a spoonful of peanut butter with a snack, or some soft fish at dinner can start building that strength back. Pair it with standing up and sitting down from a chair without using your hands, or practicing gentle balance by standing on one foot near a counter. These little habits over time rebuild the power in your legs and the stability in your core. 2 things that protect you more than any cane ever could. It's easy to be afraid of falling, but fear often leads to less movement, and less movement leads to more weakness and more risk. The better path is one of quiet action. More protein, more movement, more trust in your body's ability to respond. You can't control every slip, but you can give your body the tools to recover better, faster, and safer. In the next part of this video, We'll look at one surprising reason why so many seniors aren't getting enough protein, and how something as simple as a low appetite can slowly lead to weakness without warning. Let's continue with number 4. Appetite loss and undereating, a dangerous combo. Number 4. Appetite loss and undereating, a dangerous combo. One of the most overlooked reasons older adults don't get enough protein is something that seems so simple, it's often dismissed. They just don't feel hungry anymore. Appetite naturally decreases with age, and for many seniors, eating becomes more of a routine than a pleasure. Food doesn't taste the same, digestion is slower, chewing may be more difficult, and after decades of being told to eat less or avoid certain foods, many people over 60 begin to skip meals or reduce portion sizes, not realizing that they're also reducing the most important building blocks their bodies need to stay strong. The result is a quiet, gradual decline that starts with smaller meals and ends with a body that's no longer getting what it needs to repair, rebuild, or thrive. Let's take Mrs. Ruth as an example. She's 82, independent, and has always been mindful about her weight. She eats light, oatmeal in the morning, a banana at lunch, and soup or toast in the evening. She doesn't feel like eating more, and she doesn't think she needs to. But over the past year, her energy has dropped, her clothes have started to hang loosely on her frame, and she's been feeling lightheaded when standing. Her son notices she's not as quick on her feet and asks how she's been eating. When they visit a dietitian, they realize Ruth is only getting about half the protein her body needs in a day. No wonder she's tired. No wonder her muscles are shrinking and her strength is fading. She's not eating enough, not because of neglect, but because her appetite has slowly disappeared, and no one noticed. This is more common than people think. As we age, our bodies produce fewer of the hormones that stimulate hunger. Our sense of smell and taste diminishes, especially if medications are involved. Dentures or dental issues make chewing certain foods more uncomfortable. Some people also develop a fear of eating too much or feel guilty for wanting meat or richer foods. Add all that together and you have a perfect storm for chronic undernourishment, especially in protein. What makes this especially dangerous is that the effects don't show up all at once. You might feel fine for a while, then notice you're moving slower, that your legs feel less steady, that you're recovering from a cold more slowly, or feeling colder even in mild temperatures. These are all signs that your body isn't getting the fuel it needs, and that muscle mass is slipping away without a fight. The solution isn't to force feed or completely change your diet overnight. It's about finding gentle, enjoyable ways to reintroduce more protein into meals, especially when your appetite is small. This might mean spreading protein across multiple small meals: a soft-boiled egg with breakfast, a scoop of Greek yogurt mid-morning, some cheese or nut butter in the afternoon, and a small portion of fish or beans at dinner. For those with difficulty chewing, soft textures like smoothies, cottage cheese, tofu, or scrambled eggs can be excellent sources. If cooking feels like a burden, consider high-quality protein drinks or pre-prepared meals that are balanced and easy to digest. Sometimes even warming up food with herbs and spices can help stimulate appetite by enhancing aroma and flavor. It's also important to create a positive eating environment. Eating alone in silence can reduce appetite even further. Try to eat with others when possible, listen to calming music, or make meals feel special, even if it's just setting a placemat and sitting by the window. These small efforts can bring joy back to eating and encourage you to nourish your body with what it truly needs. So if you've found yourself skipping meals, eating less than you used to, or simply not feeling hungry like before, know this: it's not a weakness and it's not your fault, but it is something that matters. Because what you eat, or don't eat, becomes the foundation for how you move, how you heal, and how you live. In the next section, we'll explore exactly how much protein your body really needs after 60, and how to get there in a way that feels doable, gentle, and right for your lifestyle. Let's continue with number 5. How much protein do seniors really need? Number 5, how much protein do seniors really need? One of the most common questions older adults ask when it comes to protein is, How much do I really need? And right behind that is often another concern. Am I getting too much? For decades, many seniors have been told to be careful with protein, especially if they've had kidney concerns, or if they assume that meat-heavy meals weren't heart-healthy. But newer research tells us something different. Most people over 60 aren't getting enough protein, and the consequences show up in the form of muscle loss, slower healing, weaker balance, and greater frailty. So let's clear up the confusion and talk about exactly how much your body needs, and how to get there in simple, realistic ways. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at processing protein. That means we actually need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults, not less. Most health organizations now recommend that adults over 60 consume between 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For someone weighing around 150 pounds, or roughly 68 kilograms, that equals 68 to 82 grams of protein per day. That might sound like a lot at first, especially if you are used to light meals. But when you break it down into smaller meals and snacks, it becomes much more doable and enjoyable. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine starting your morning with a scrambled egg and a slice of whole grain toast. That egg gives you about 6 grams of protein. A small container of Greek yogurt adds another 10 grams. You've already started your day with 16 grams without feeling like you've eaten a heavy meal. At lunch, a tuna sandwich or a bowl of lentil soup might give you another 20 grams. A handful of almonds in the afternoon? Another 6 grams. Dinner might include a palm-sized piece of chicken or salmon, about 25 grams. Add a glass of milk or a scoop of soft tofu, and you're well on your way to 70 or even 80 grams, without any complicated tracking or special foods. And if chewing is an issue, or your appetite varies, you can always supplement with a high-quality protein shake or powder, especially one made for seniors that's easy to digest and includes additional nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. Some people find that drinking part of their protein, in the form of a smoothie or shake, actually helps them get more consistent intake throughout the day, especially during times when solid food doesn't feel appealing. It's also important to spread protein throughout the day, rather than eating it all in one big meal. This helps your body use it more effectively. Think of your muscles like a sponge. They can only absorb so much protein at once. By giving them small, steady amounts over breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks, you're helping your body rebuild and stay strong around the clock. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who spread their protein evenly across meals retain more muscle and feel stronger than those who eat most of it at dinner. What's equally important is listening to your body and adjusting gradually. If you've been eating very little protein for a long time, your digestive system might need time to adjust to increased intake. That's okay. Start small, 1 extra egg here, a bit of cottage cheese there. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Let's also be honest. Not everyone likes the idea of measuring grams or calculating intake. That's why simple rules of thumb can help. A good target is to include a source of protein with every meal, about the size of the palm of your hand, or about the thickness of a deck of cards. For snacks, look for options that include at least 5 to 10 grams of protein. And don't forget that plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, quinoa, and tofu can be just as powerful as animal sources, and often easier to digest for many seniors. So if you've been wondering whether your protein intake is good enough, chances are your body could benefit from just a little more. Spaced out, thoughtfully chosen, and in forms you enjoy. Protein isn't a trendy diet trick. It's a quiet, essential partner that works in the background every day to keep you standing tall, healing strong, and moving forward with confidence. In the next section, we'll look at what types of protein are best for older adults, especially those that are gentle on the stomach, easy to prepare, and full of the nutrients your body needs most. Let's continue with number 6, best protein sources for older adults, beyond just meat. Number 6, best protein sources for older adults, beyond just meat. When most people think of protein, they immediately think of meat, steak, chicken, pork chops. While these are certainly rich sources of protein, they're not the only ones. And for many older adults, meat may not always be the best or most convenient option. It can be tough to chew, heavy on the stomach, or simply unappealing when appetite is low. The good news is that there are many other gentle, delicious, and easy-to-prepare protein options that are perfect for seniors. In fact, with just a little creativity and planning, you can get all the protein your body needs without ever having to grill a steak. Let's start with eggs. They're inexpensive, versatile, and packed with about 6 grams of high-quality protein each. They're also soft, easy to digest, and can be scrambled, boiled, poached, or made into an omelet with vegetables. For someone with limited appetite, 1 or 2 eggs in the morning can be a powerful start. Pair that with a slice of whole grain toast, and you've got a balanced, protein-rich meal that's light yet nourishing. Greek yogurt is another excellent choice. Unlike regular yogurt, it's strained to remove excess liquid, which makes it thicker and higher in protein, sometimes containing 15 to 20 grams per serving. It's creamy, easy to eat, and can be sweetened naturally with fruit, honey, or cinnamon. For those who prefer savory flavors, it can also be used as a base for dips or sauces. Plus, it comes with the added bonus of probiotics, which support digestion and gut health. A common concern for many seniors. Fish, especially softer types like salmon, canned tuna, or sardines, are also fantastic sources of protein. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart and brain health, and they're easier to chew and digest than red meat. A small piece of baked salmon at dinner or a tuna sandwich at lunch can go a long way in helping meet your protein needs. Canned options are especially convenient. Just open, mix with a little mayo or yogurt, and serve on crackers or toast. For those who prefer plant-based options, there's a wide range of gentle, protein-rich foods that can be both satisfying and nourishing. Lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and tofu are all excellent sources. A half cup of cooked lentils, for example, provides about 9 grams of protein and is also high in fiber and minerals. These foods can be made into soups, stews, or blended into spreads. Tofu, in particular, is soft, takes on the flavor of whatever it's cooked with, and can be sautéed, baked, or added to soups. Let's not forget cottage cheese, which offers around 13 grams of protein per half cup. It's mild in flavor, soft in texture, and pairs well with fruit, tomatoes, or even a sprinkle of herbs. It's also a good source of calcium, which is essential for bone health. If you have trouble digesting dairy, lactose-free versions are widely available and just as nutritious. For snacks or quick boosts, nuts and seeds, like almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, or peanut butter, offer healthy fats and moderate amounts of protein. A spoonful of almond butter on toast or a handful of nuts with dried fruit can make a perfect mid-afternoon snack. Just be mindful of portion sizes, as nuts are calorie-dense, and choose unsalted versions to keep sodium in check. For those who struggle to meet protein needs through food alone, especially after illness or surgery, protein powders or shakes can be a helpful addition. There are many high-quality options available that are designed specifically for seniors. They mix easily with water or milk and provide 15 to 30 grams of protein per serving. They're also useful for people with dental problems or who get full quickly. Here's a helpful way to think about it. Every time you eat, ask yourself, where's the protein? It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. Just one good source at each meal and snack can make a big difference over time. It's also perfectly okay to repeat your favorites. If you find that you enjoy scrambled eggs and yogurt every morning, keep eating them. Consistency is key. And remember, protein doesn't have to come from big meals. In fact, many seniors do better with small, frequent meals throughout the day that are easier to digest and less overwhelming. A bowl of soup with lentils, a slice of toast with peanut butter, a soft-boiled egg with a little rice, all of these add up. They're gentle, comforting, and nourishing. Your body doesn't need extremes. It needs steady, loving care. In the next part, we'll explore how timing plays a surprising role in how well your body uses protein, and how spreading it out during the day might be even more important than how much you eat in one sitting. Let's move on to number 7, when and how to eat protein. Timing matters. Number 7, when and how to eat protein. Timing matters. Most people focus on what to eat. But as we grow older, when and how we eat can be just as important, especially when it comes to protein. Many seniors believe that as long as they have one good, protein-rich meal a day, like dinner, they're doing fine. But the truth is, your body works differently after the age of 60. It becomes less efficient at processing nutrients, especially protein, and that means timing matters more than ever. If you eat all your protein in one meal and skip it the rest of the day, your muscles won't be able to fully absorb and use it. It's like trying to water your garden by flooding it once a week instead of giving it small, steady amounts each day. Most of it runs off, and the plants still wither. Let's look at what really happens. Your muscles, bones, and cells are constantly in need of repair, especially as we age. But the body can only process and use a limited amount of protein at one time. For older adults, that amount is usually 25 to 30 grams per meal. Anything above that, your body may not be able to fully use it, and it could end up being stored or simply pass through the system unused. That's why eating moderate amounts of protein throughout the day, spaced evenly, is much more effective for maintaining muscle and strength than loading up at just one meal. This concept is called protein distribution, and it's one of the most important but underappreciated strategies for healthy aging. Unfortunately, studies show that most older adults consume most of their protein at dinner, while breakfast and lunch often lack enough. A slice of toast or a piece of fruit for breakfast simply isn't enough to feed your muscles. And going too long without protein can lead to muscle breakdown, fatigue, and slower recovery, even if you make up for it later. Let's take the story of Mr. Charles, age 74, who started noticing that his morning walks left him more tired than they used to. He felt sluggish until lunchtime, and even then, he didn't have much appetite until dinner. When a dietitian reviewed his food journal, it showed exactly what many seniors do: coffee and toast for breakfast, a small salad for lunch, and then a large dinner with chicken or beef. He was getting enough protein overall, but not at the times his body needed it most. They worked together to rebalance his meals: a hard-boiled egg and Greek yogurt with breakfast, a tuna sandwich at lunch, and a lighter dinner. Within 2 weeks, Charles noticed a difference. He had more energy in the mornings, recovered faster from walks, and even started sleeping better. He hadn't added more protein, just timed it better. Spreading protein across 3 meals and possibly 1 or 2 snacks gives your body a steady supply of amino acids, the building blocks of muscle and tissue, throughout the day. This helps your body rebuild, stay strong, and resist muscle loss. It also helps stabilize blood sugar levels and energy, making you feel less tired and more alert. Even if you're not a big eater, this approach still works. A little protein at breakfast might mean half a cup of cottage cheese or a protein shake. Lunch could include some soft beans or chicken salad. Dinner doesn't have to be heavy. A small piece of fish and steamed vegetables is enough. And if you enjoy an evening snack, consider adding a little peanut butter, a slice of cheese, or warm milk. These small choices gently fuel your body in a rhythm that matches how it heals and restores. Another bonus of balanced protein timing is that it supports better sleep and fewer nighttime muscle cramps. Many seniors wake up with leg pain or tightness, and it's often because their bodies didn't have enough fuel during the day to keep muscles nourished overnight. Including a protein-rich evening snack, like a warm glass of milk with a few nuts, can make a big difference. The key takeaway here is this: protein is not a once-a-day fix. It's something your body needs throughout the day, in small, steady portions. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter, giving your body what it needs, when it needs it. In the next section, we'll gently clear up some of the most common fears and myths about protein and aging, especially concerns about kidney health or eating too much. Because when it comes to nutrition in later life, sometimes the biggest obstacle is not food, but fear. Let's move on to number 8. Myths about protein and aging. Debunking common fears. Number 8. Myths about protein and aging. Debunking common fears. When it comes to nutrition after 60, there are few topics surrounded by more confusion and more fear than protein. Over the years, many older adults have been told that eating too much protein could damage their kidneys, or that they should cut back on meat and high-protein foods as they age. Some even believe that only athletes or bodybuilders need protein, while seniors should stick to light meals and avoid anything too heavy. These ideas are understandable. They've been repeated for decades, but modern research tells a different, more hopeful story. In fact, not only is protein safe for most older adults, but it is one of the most important nutrients you can eat to stay strong, independent, and well protected from illness and injury. Let's start with the most common fear. Protein is bad for your kidneys. This belief comes from older studies that looked at people with existing kidney disease, not healthy individuals. For people with chronic kidney failure or those on dialysis, limiting protein may be necessary under medical guidance. But for healthy seniors, there is no strong evidence that a higher protein diet harms kidney function. The National Institutes of Health, the American Society for Nutrition, and many kidney experts now agree. For aging adults without kidney disease, increased protein intake is not only safe, it's beneficial. In fact, not getting enough protein may be more dangerous than getting too much. Protein supports the immune system, helps repair cells, and keeps bones and muscles strong. Without it, your body has fewer tools to fight infections, recover from surgery, or stay active. Weak muscles mean poor balance, slower healing, and a higher risk of falls, all of which can be more damaging than anything a chicken breast ever caused. Another myth is that eating protein causes weight gain. Many seniors are cautious about gaining weight, especially if their activity level has decreased. But here's the truth. Protein is actually more satisfying than carbohydrates, and it helps regulate blood sugar and appetite. When you eat a balanced protein-rich meal, you're less likely to overeat or reach for sugary snacks later. It keeps you fuller longer, which is especially helpful for those trying to manage their weight in a healthy, sustainable way. In fact, some studies show that higher protein diets can help older adults preserve lean muscle while gently reducing body fat. Some people also fear that eating meat is the only way to get protein, and that avoiding red meat means they can't get enough. But as we've seen, protein can come from many gentle, nourishing sources. Eggs, yogurt, lentils, tofu, milk, fish, and even high-protein grains like quinoa. Whether you're a meat eater or prefer a plant-based diet, there are plenty of safe, soft, and digestible options available. And if chewing or appetite is an issue, protein shakes and powders made for seniors are an easy and effective way to supplement without the stress of large meals. Let's not forget about the emotional side of eating. Many older adults grew up in a generation where eating less was associated with being healthy or disciplined. Some associate protein-rich foods with indulgence or heaviness. But eating enough protein is not about indulgence. It's about survival, strength, and dignity. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to keep you walking, cooking, laughing, lifting your grandchildren, and living life on your terms. There is nothing selfish or too much about that. Take the story of Ms. Janice, 80 years old, who had always been slim and cautious about food. She believed in light meals, small portions, and had never touched a protein shake in her life. But after 2 hospital stays in 1 year and months of fatigue, her doctor suggested she try increasing her protein. At first, she resisted, but with gentle encouragement, she added an egg to breakfast, swapped her soup for lentil stew, and started sipping a vanilla shake in the afternoon. After a month, she felt more energetic. After 2 months, she was able to go for daily walks again. "I didn't think it mattered," she said, "but it changed everything." So if you've been avoiding protein out of fear, habit, or confusion, take heart. The science is clear. For most seniors, protein is not the problem. It's the missing piece. And when you add it back in, your body responds with strength, resilience, and gratitude. In the final part of this video, we'll bring everything together, from the dangers of undereating to the joy of eating with purpose, and remind ourselves that it's never too late to rebuild. Let's move on to the final section. Conclusion: Protein is power after 60. Conclusion: protein is power after 60. As we've seen today, protein isn't just for the young or the athletic. It's for you. It's for your strength, your balance, your healing, and your independence. Getting enough protein after 60 can mean the difference between walking confidently or worrying about your next fall, between recovering quickly or staying tired for weeks. The best part, it's never too late to start. Even small, simple changes, one egg, a little yogurt, a scoop of beans, can make a big difference. Your body is still capable of rebuilding. You just have to give it what it's been quietly asking for. So listen closely and feed your strength, one meal at a time. We really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to support our work, and it helps more people discover the tips they need to live healthier, happier lives. And if you want to stay up to date, just click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. See you again soon.